Hey everybody, what's going on? It's me, Ben. I'm here live here on the Ben Zone. Um, I just wanted to do like a little Bucks post game show, give my thoughts on it. The Eagles end up beating the Bucks tonight, 25-11. Um, what a game! I look, my hats off to the Eagles. Philly, good game. You guys deserve to win. You're the better team. You dominated the trenches. Time of possession. You made the plays, the big plays. You ran the ball down the Bucks' throat. You were just the better team. It's just the way it is. And the Bucks are not a bad team. They're actually a pretty decent team. They're going to be good, but it's just one of those games where you ran into a better team. Right now, Philly is an elite top five team in the NFL. Okay, I mean they're at that level along with San Fran, Miami, KC. They're great. They're great at every position. So there's really not much to say other than the fact that we were just outplayed by a better team. That's not such a bad thing. We're going to learn from this. You know, are there concerns? Yeah. Um, Tonight, the run game for the Bucks was just non-existent. I mean, Rashad White. To me, it looks like now he's just not. He's not a number one running back, at least not right now. He's too much of a east-west kind of guy. Can't hit the holes. Not like DeAndre Swift. Swift can hit the holes, but he also has a great offensive line as well that can create those holes for him to just boom run through it. Our offensive line is okay. Hainsey, the center is okay. This is where you miss a guy like Ryan Jensen. If we had Jensen, might have made a difference. But again, give the Eagles credit. Their trenches are just so much better, so much more experienced. Um, you know, Taylor Swift's future brother-in-law, Jason Kelsey, just incredible. Lane Johnson, incredible. I mean, they're just too good. They're too good. Uh, our line needs help. It needs time to gel. It needs, Wirfs is at the left tackle. Um, this is his third game, and I understand that there are concerns about that, but I'm still giving Wirfs a chance at the left tackle spot. Again, just his third game there. And, we don't have a choice really, because if you move Wirfs back to right tackle, then who's going to protect Baker's blind side? So, again, give it time. That's all I'm saying. Uh, as far as, Baker Mayfield's performance tonight, he had his first interception. But the Eagles did a good job of making him throw the ball, rushing him. And, so far, Mayfield hadn't turned the ball over yet this year. We haven't had a turnover yet this year. Tonight, we had two of them. It's just one of those games. Eagles, I think they had like three turnovers. Like they had more than we did, but the Eagles still won the game. Normally, if you win the turnover battle, you usually win the game, but not in this case. The time of possession for the Eagles is just astounding. It's almost like the Bucs, hardly saw the football tonight. And when you dominate the time of possession too, your defense gets tired, gets more tired, and they're not going to be able to make stops late in the game. And again, that's a credit to Philly, their play calling, and Jalen Hurts. He's just a great quarterback. It's tough. It's tough to beat an elite team like Philly if you don't play your A game. And tonight we didn't play our A game. We didn't even play our B game. I would say we're probably a C minus at best. So, yeah, it was. Listen, it's okay. I'm not mad at this loss. I did pick the Eagles to win, but I thought it would be closer. Um, but tonight showed us that you know there's a difference of where Philly's at right now compared to where the Bucs are at right now. But it's not like the Bucs are a bad team. They're not. They're still a good team. I still like our defense. I still like our offense. With Evans, Godwin, Mayfield. But I am concerned about the run game. And look, I like Mike Evans. I like the guy. Very good wide receiver. He made a great one-handed catch. Guys, we can't ignore the 3 drops tonight. I get heat all the time about when people say he's an elite receiver, and I argue that and say he's not because of the drop passes. He's a great receiver, but he's not elite. Not when you drop those passes, especially on a Monday night football game, prime time. I'm sorry. He's a great receiver. He's just not elite. We got to stop throwing that elite word around. Mike Evans, great receiver, but elite? No. Devontae Adams, elite. Okay. Tyreek Hill, elite. Mike Evans, he's great. And he's a Hall of Famer. But elite? Not when you drop 3 passes tonight. Yes, you made one great catch. You had a touchdown. That's great. And I'm glad. And he's still going to get his 1,000 yards by week 10, like I predicted. I'll look at the box score right now. Got it up here. Let me check. I want to see how many yards Mike Evans had tonight. He only had 60 yards. Still, he'll get his 1,000 yards. But again, I'm not going to go on about Evans and the elite stuff. But, he did drop those passes real quick. It did affect the game. He had a touchdown. Could have made a difference in the game. Godwin, I don't understand why they didn't keep going to him in this game. They should have ran more routes in that game, I thought. But that could be just great defense by the Eagles as well, containing Godwin for the most part. So who knows? But tonight we were just outclassed by a better team. It's going to be a short week. We got to go to New Orleans. It's our rivalry game. Hopefully we can play a lot better. Also, the injuries tonight. Jamel Dean got hurt twice in the game. He didn't return. It was a shoulder. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Hopefully he could be back on the field. McCollum's a decent player, but in a game like this next Sunday with Olave, Michael Thomas, you want to have guys like Carlton Davis and Jamel Dean out there. You don't want to really rely on Zion McCollum. Indeed, Delaney, he had an interception. You can rely on him, but McCollum's just not a great cover guy. So I'm hoping Jamel Dean's okay. That shoulder's not as serious as it possibly looks. So let's get to the comments. Oh well, someone had to lose. Let me see who you are. Sorry about that. Who's saying that comment? Odette, well, someone had to lose. Yeah, Odette, thank you for tuning in tonight. Appreciate it. Thanks for the comment. Yeah, it's okay. Disappointing, sure. Yeah, I would have loved to see this Bucs team get a win against Philly Monday night. Would have been great, but yeah, someone had to lose, and it was not Philly; it was us. But still, we're 2-1. That's good. If we can beat the Saints next week, 3-1, head into the bye week. So I'll dissect the Bucs Saints game later in the week. But let's see. Amen about Evans. Yeah, that's Odette. Thank you, Odette. Yeah, like I said, he had a great one-handed catch. He had a touchdown. but the 3 drop passes, that's for him, especially when you're going to be a free agent after this year. You can't have that. Sorry, you just can't. I don't care how beloved you are, Mike. We do have to call you out. Even the great Mike Evans, we got to call you out if you don't make certain plays. All right. JD Bucks. Thanks, JD, for tuning in tonight. He's saying Baker made quite a few mistakes tonight. They kept Godwin out of the loop. Yeah, that's what I mentioned earlier. I don't know why Godwin didn't get more looks. The looks that he did get, he was able to make plays. Um, so I did not understand why they quit going to him so much. They got to use them more often. This would have been a good game to do that, but who knows? It could be again. I have to look at the game again, look at the game tape. Maybe the Eagles did a good job of containing them, not getting them as open as they'd like. So I don't know. We'll see what happens there. I don't know what else to say, but again, the Eagles tonight. Jalen Carter, Fletcher Cox, that front seven, Reddick. They were just able. Nolan Smith, Jr. They're just good. Just such a great defense, and it's hard to. I mean, like I said, you got to play your A game if you're going to beat this team. You can't make mistakes, and Philly proved that if you make mistakes, you turn the ball over, that's what's going to happen. And the Eagles took advantage of it. I just love how the Eagles are built, both offensively and defensively. I just love their trenches. That's what it's all about in the NFL and football in general is winning at the line of scrimmage. Time of possession, moving the chains. That's the key to winning football. The special teams. Look at the Eagles. They had big returns tonight, big punt returns, a couple of good returns to get in, Buccaneer territory. That's another thing, special team trenches. I have this thing where I say I have this, what I call the Fab Five of how a great NFL team succeeds. What makes a great NFL team. My Fab Five, there it is. It starts with the trenches, offensive line, defensive line, special teams, quarterback, head coach, and time of possession. That's the key to winning. Time of possession. Eagles, I don't have the exact numbers, but they owned us by over 20 minutes. We just saw too much Phillies offense out there, not enough Bucs offense out there. So those are my 5 keys. The trenches, offensive, defensive, special teams, quarterback, head coach, time of possession. That's the key to winning. That's what makes a great NFL team. Teams like the Eagles, 49ers, Dolphins. The Dolphins put a 70 burger up on the Denver Broncos last night. So, yeah. JD Buck says, I also felt we could have pressured Hurts more. Well, JD, let's give the Eagles offensive line credit. Look at the time he got in the pocket. I mean, he had on that touchdown play to Zephelius, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He had 8 or 9 seconds in the pocket. I mean, just great blocking. Man, it's a quarterback's dream to have all that time in the pocket, all that time to find receivers. And he just floated that ball up there, made a great throw to Zephelius for the touchdown. So give the Eagles offensive line credit. The Bucs tried to pressure him. It just couldn't get through that wall. And, you couldn't get through Lane Johnson or Jason Kelsey. That's tough. It's tough very tough. even when you're a great defense, when you have Vita Vea. I mean, Vita Vea, we didn't even really hear from him tonight. He couldn't get to Jalen Hurts. I mean, when Vita Vea can't get to uh, the quarterback, then you know how good your offensive line is. I mean, so yeah, that's just one of those games, Jay. It just is. It's just one of those games where the better team won, and hopefully this will make us better. We can only go up from here. That's how I'm looking at it. Jay says yes, great offensive line. Yeah, that's just it. They beat us in the trenches, plain and simple. But it's a good, you know, parameter for where the Bucs are at right now. Hopefully, they can learn from this, and get better. That's what you want to do. And again, we're just 3 games in. It's not the end of the world. There's no panic right now. We're 2-1. The Saints are 2-1. Falcons are 2-1. Carolina's 0-3. There's so much football to be played. I mean, there's only 2 teams that are 3-0 in the NFC, Philly and San Fran. So, you have a bunch of 2-1 teams in the NFC. So it's okay. Not the end of the world. We'll pick ourselves up, get back, and we have a big game Sunday. And our first division game, we play the New Orleans Saints. It's a big game. It's always going to be a physical game, always going to high emotion, So, yeah, let's go. Let's get rested up for this short week. Have a good week of practice. Fix things that we need to fix. The Saints can be beaten. Derek Carr might not even play. We're going to face an old nemesis in Jameis Winston. So yeah. And some of those defensive players, Vita Vea, Levante, Devin White, they know Jameis Winston. So, hey, this could be a good week for us. That's what we got to focus on. So, but yeah, I will say though that our run game definitely needs to improve. What do we have, like 40 yards rushing tonight? That's not going to get it done. I'm sorry, it's just not. Rashad White's got to do better. Sean Tucker needs to play better. I know Sean Tucker's a rookie. Can't really expect much out of him, but the run game has to improve. We have to get something out of that run game. Otherwise, it's going to make it tough for us to win games. I've mentioned it before. Balance is very important for any offense. You need balance. And yes, we did run the ball more. I do like how we're doing that this year. But we got to get yards. We've got to be better at, getting more yards. It makes the offensive play calling a lot better. Gives us more options. And you always want, on 1st and 10 when you run the ball, you want to get 4 or 5 yards. You want to make those second downs, 2nd and 5 or less. And a lot of times tonight we were in 2nd and long too much. It shrinks your playbook when you're 2nd or 5 or longer. Now when you're 2nd and 4 or less, the playbook opens a lot more. So yes, the run game needs to improve. And hopefully this week we can try and do that. Saints do have a good run defense, but still we need to get the ball. We need to pound the rock. That's the key. That's going to be the goal this week, is to pound the rock. That's our goal this week. All right, Jay. Jay says, not all. Rashad's fumble hurt our momentum at one point. Yeah, especially when we got that interception from Devin White. So, how ironic. We get a turnover from White, and we made a turnover by White. So both Whites got turnovers, in 2 of the last 3 plays. So, yeah, very ironic. But, yeah, that did hurt us a little bit. Whenever you get a turnover, you definitely want to take advantage of it. And when you gave it up, right away, then it deflates you. It deflates the whole team because now the defense has to go back out there. They made a great play. Devin White made a great play, interception. And by the way, let me just say something real quick for people that I saw on Twitter earlier, or X, sorry, it's X now, saying that White should have took it to the house. Guys, he had a groin issue coming into this game. I don't think you're going to have Devin White run 70 or 80 yards for a touchdown, especially on a sore groin. It's amazing that he went out there and played as good as he did tonight on that groin. They had him playing corner because Jamel Dean was out. Carlton Davis is already out. You had McCollum and Delaney, Winfield and Ryan Neal, but they were using Devin White for a few plays to cover the receivers. So it's amazing that on a bad groin that he still went out there and performed like he did and got a turnover. So no, he's not going to run that for take it to the house for a touchdown. So come on, guys. But yeah, and then the next play, Rachaad White fumbles the ball. You give it right back to him. It is deflating. It's demoralizing. And ultimately that hurt us, So let's see. And Jay also says, last season it was either you or Johnny Dean said Rachaad White takes his time hitting the holes. He stutters too much. Well, that's Johnny Dean. Yeah, I did. I think I mentioned that too, but I know Johnny said that for sure, Jay. Yeah, again, he's thinking. As a running back, you don't want to necessarily think. You want to go. But he's more of a east-west runner, and he's not big enough to take it to the hole, pound it like a DeAndre Swift is. Or he doesn't have a great offensive line like DeAndre Swift does. That's another thing. So, yeah, Rachaad White does have to get better. I don't know if he's going to be that guy that's going to, be that workhorse that's going to run through the tackles. But he does need to play better. He needs to run the ball better, not think so much out there. Keep moving his feet. Like you're saying, Jay, don't stutter step, and just go out there, use your feet, and run the ball. That's the key. So yeah. Oh man. Let's see. Right now, we got an interesting game here. Bengals are up 16-9 on the Rams right now. It's the other Monday night game. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of 2 Monday night games. This is the last week for this season that they're doing 2 games on Monday night. Next week, for the rest of the year, they go back to just a single game. Thank goodness. So, yeah. But like I said, I'm going to close it out with this. The Bucs played a better team. The better team won. The better team is Philadelphia. They're an elite team. They're one of 3 undefeated teams in the NFL, along with San Fran and Miami. There's a reason why they went to the Super Bowl last year. And they almost beat the Chiefs. So, and they're one of the favorites again. The reason is, again, they're great on both sides of the football, especially in the trenches. And that's where we want to be. We want to have those trenches, dominate those trenches every week. That protects the quarterback, gives the quarterback time to throw the ball. That also opens up holes for the running game. That's the key. And right now we're okay in the offensive line, but it needs to be better. And we're not at Philly's level. But time will tell. Again, this is a new offensive line in a way. You got the rookie Cody Mock. You moved Wirfs to the left side. You got Robert Hainsey at center. Ryan Jensen not there anymore. It's tough. It's going to take time, and I'm amazed that this offensive line actually has done well these first two games. You know, now albeit yes, the Bears are bad. They're bad defensively. Minnesota's bad defensively as well. So, but still, they were able to, you know, give Mayfield that kind of time. But when you run into a much better defensive team, you got to be perfect and or near perfect. And the Bucs were not perfect tonight. So, um, yeah, hopefully from here on out, we improve. We improve the run game, uh, and just start dominating more. Having the time of possession. That's the other thing. Running the ball helps you move the clock. So, yeah, that's what needs to happen for the Bucs from here on out. So, that being said, I am going to take off, but I want to thank everybody who commented tonight. JD Bucks, thanks for commenting on the show. Odette, thank you. For anybody watching, appreciate you listening to my post game thoughts. Again, this Sunday, it's a short week. We go to New Orleans on the road, big division game. We play the 2-1 Saints. They probably should have won their game against the Packers, but Derek Carr got hurt. I think that changed the momentum of that game. Again, word is that Carr could miss maybe a week or a couple weeks, depending on the shoulder sprain. So, so we might be playing a guy named Jameis Winston, a guy we used to know. So, Nathan Snell, good evening, sir. How you doing tonight, Nathan? It's good to see you on here. Thanks for tuning in. JD, no problem, brother. Thanks, brother, for tuning in. Appreciate it. And what's happening in the Ben Zone? Well, we're just discussing my post-game thoughts. The Bucs ultimately go down to the Philadelphia Eagles tonight, the defending NFC champions, 25-11. And Nate, I just told everybody the better team won. Philly, great football team. There's a reason why they were, a couple minutes away from winning a Super Bowl last year. They're just that good on both sides of the ball. The trenches, they dominated that. Made plays when they had to. Dominated the time of possession. Ran the ball well. That was the difference tonight. So, yeah, those were my thoughts on the post game for the Bucs. Again, next week, go down to New Orleans, see if we can get that division win, and heading into the bye week too. So after this next week's game is our bye week, and then we play Detroit. That's the creamsicle game. Got the creamsicle hat, as you can see right there, old Bucko Bruce. That'll be against the Lions. And but anyway, that's a few weeks away. Now our focus is shifted on New Orleans. See if we can get that W. No, I will not put my fingers in my mouth and say we're going to eat a W like that Jameis guy in New Orleans. He could kick rocks. But anyway, guys, I'm going to finish watching this Bengals Rams Monday night games. Looks pretty interesting. Bengals are up 16-9. They got the football right now. About under 8 minutes to go. So, I'll read one more comment. JD Buck says, I think we'll beat New Orleans. I think we got a good chance. Again, Derek Carr might not be playing. So you got to rely on Jameis. He's an experienced quarterback, but it is Jameis, and the Bucs know him pretty well. Now, I'm not saying that it's a guaranteed win or anything like that, but like you said, we should be able to beat New Orleans. We did it twice last year. I think we've won our last 3 games against them, actually. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And with that being said, everybody, I am taking off. Thank you so much. You can catch me. Look at my social media handles above. Like, subscribe, and share on X, BennyBoy702. My YouTube channel, which you're watching this one as well, Ben Cornett 9015. And you're watching this on the Ben Zone Facebook. as well. And if you're not on the if you're not in the Ben Zone, I put it on my personal page as well. If you're a friend of mine, so Interception King, yeah, 96 of them, Jay. 96 interceptions, man, in his NFL career. That's terrible, just terrible. So anyway, I'm gonna head out, guys. Have a great week. Let's, relax. I know it's disappointing tonight, but Bucs fans, reassure that we'll be back next week to hopefully right the ship and go into the bye week 3-1. So everybody, have a good night and have a good week. I will talk to you guys later. Take care.